to what is it? Not admit, but recognize, yeah, your independent state or whatever. We never really brought up that much. They've always been about the pride, about the history, and that we've always been impartial. So I think we should just stay that way. I mean, say yes to whether we support their European membership, and just not even try to it's like kids, and if someone offends you, don't just give them silence. Don't strike back. That's what I think. Because it's a small thing. I don't know.
Okay, thank you, Peter. What do you think? How will Macedonia react from now on?
This is actually the focus of the issue, I think, because in general terms, our position is definitely not that bad. The whole idea behind, first of all, creating this memorandum and after that helping Macedonia with its accession to the European Union is principally correct. The problem is that in the current situation with this Macedonian government, this only creates more tension between Macedonia and Bulgaria, and this is why this position is, in my opinion, wrong.
Okay.
So this is the problem, that Macedonia will not react positively for sure.
So it will most probably worsen things. Is this what you mean?
Yes, and by what I have read in investigations of the public opinion in Macedonia, it seems to me that certainly, without any question, Macedonians are not extremely interested in accessing the European Union. I think that they're more interested in creating their national identity, which is obviously normal by the recent history of Macedonia.
Okay.
And this is why I think that this decision is wrong.
Okay.
Can I add something?
Yes, of course, please.
The next year, I think there will be elections in Macedonia, or this year, maybe the next. So they definitely are going to be stronger into their behavior to Bulgaria because of the elections. And this is the same thing. Now we act because of the elections, and they will react the same because of the elections. Their elections.
So you believe it will be? You also agree with them that it will worsen?
Yeah, for sure.
The mood in Macedonia.
For sure.
Okay. Well, thank you.
This is why I think the decision was not that good.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, in December last year, Bulgaria and Greece issued a joint declaration on their statements, of the negative statements they had. According to you, Peter, do you believe that because of that joint statement of Bulgaria and Greece, Macedonia might warm up and move closer to another Balkan state in terms of its relations? It might move away from the two EU member states, neighboring member states. It might move to a different state.
Serbia.
Serbia.
Yes, definitely this is in the heart of the problem. Yes, I absolutely believe that there is such a possibility.
Okay, how do you think this will influence Macedonia's EU future, if it happens?
It is certainly quite early to be said.
Of course, we just hypothesizing.
Yes. I actually can only repeat what I previously said, and actually I'm going to elaborate a bit on it.
Okay.
In such a situation in which obviously the current government is not quite too well intentioned to Bulgaria, and obviously foreign our country cannot influence the political opinion of Macedonian people, because, as I said before, for Macedonians right now, the creation of new national identity is more important than the accession to the European Union. Definitely, foreign powers should not try to create influence over Macedonia in this way, and should wait for probably a more sympathetic government, and then act accordingly to their national interests.
I see.
And with what we have just done, we are just creating more possibilities for the current government, and not the opposite, which is our goal.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Diane? What do you think?
Could you go back to the first question?
Yes, of course. The question
The initial
was, do you think that Macedonia might orientate, if I can use this word, towards a different country on the Balkans after Greece and Bulgaria, the two EU neighboring states, issued a joint declaration confirming their negative position on Macedonia's accession? And how do you think this would influence Macedonia's EU future?
It's got to be a neighboring country, though.
It might be, it might be.
I don't know. Maybe someone who's more interested in getting involved in internally in Macedonia, affecting their, their national identity or the elections or whatever. Someone who, sure, everyone has interest in that, but someone who might do that for them and thereby benefit in some way and thereby help them in their EU future if they're interested in actually joining. Because I think Sturm quoted that it's not a complete consensus that everyone wants to join. So. I'm sure someone will be interested in lending them a hand if that's what Macedonians want to do.
Okay, thank you. Roman?
I'm totally agree with Peter.
Yeah.
And he was quite...
Elaborate.
Yeah. So there's nothing
Okay.
else.
Thank you. Well, supposing that this negative response from both Bulgaria and Greece, specifically Bulgaria, continues in the future, do you think that Macedonia, as a member state, could become the next Turkey, meaning a very prolonged EU journey to the EU accession, with many years, many problems arising in the future? What do you think about it?
Well, they, as a sovereign state, they exist from. They're not as old as all the other, EU member countries. So that too affects it, I think, because they've come into existence at a later period. So I think that affects it. It could do. Depends again on their national opinion. If everyone is wanting to join, then I'm sure that will speed up the process. I'm not too familiar what the national opinion is in Turkey as well, and there's obviously lots of factors affecting that, maybe a bit different than the Macedonian situation. But yeah, it could turn into that. As I said, though, I think Bulgaria should say yes and just let them get on with what they want to do.
Thank you. Roman, what do you think?
I think it depends on what will happen with Albania.
Okay.
If Albania goes through to EU, it's obviously that Macedonia will go too.
If Albania goes before or with Macedonia?
It doesn't matter before
doesn't matter.
or with, but because of the Albanians, they live in Macedonia, it's a lot of them there. And I think it depends on this,
Okay.
on Albania, or maybe in Kosovo.
What do you think? Could Macedonia become a second Turkey in terms of the prolonged, difficult way to the EU?
I definitely think that Macedonia cannot be the second Turkey, because
Not the second Turkey as a country,
yes,
I mean.
but I think that they're somewhat connected. Right now, Turkey is a great and prospering world power, which is everything that Macedonia is not. Yes. In this sense, actually, the relations between the European Union and Turkey, though quite far from Turkish accession to the European Union, are, in my opinion at least, quite good, which also, in my opinion, works quite well for the interest of the European Union, which is not the case with Macedonia once again. Because so far Macedonia is not such a prosperous country, and this actually creates some very grim possibilities with what Ruben just pointed out, the very big proportion of Albanian population in Macedonia, which is, in my opinion, about 35%.
40 maybe.
Or even 40, yeah. And this is actually, this creates the possibility for a disaster and not for this prosperity that is actually fact.
I will stop you here because once again we're moving on to my next question, which is I would just repeat some of the things you said. Macedonia is known to have a fairly severe ethnic problem with the Albanian minority to the east of the country, and the government believes, the Macedonian government believes, that it will be improved. The problem will be improved with the accession to the EU. However, in case of a long-lasting denial from member states, including Bulgaria, do you think this could blow up and become an ethnic conflict that would, in the future, lead to the separation of Macedonia to two separate states? Do you think this is a viable possibility? Yeah.
Definitely, in the foreign affairs sciences, it is a well-known fact that this is absolutely possible in the near or in the medium term.
Mm-hmm. And how do you think this will affect Bulgaria?
I don't really want to get too much into it, but it is certainly going to be in the negative side, no doubt about it.
Okay.
And also the whole region and the European Union itself.
Okay. Thank you. Dan, what do you think?
Yeah, there's definitely. I mean, it's happened before in neighboring countries of those two. So yeah, it could repeat itself as things often do. But I think if they do, however, join the EU before that, maybe that can be prevented, or at least with the help of other neighboring countries or not, they could be prevented, which would be the best thing to do. So intervention,
Intervention
Yeah.
would be needed.
not military. No.
Okay. Thank you, Roman. What do you think?
I'm not sure, but maybe I think it's not that possible to be a new country there.